Hello, this is the message I, Eddie Marcus, have to the people of America. You know, the world, you've had me say, and you've heard millions of others say, it's been corrupt for quite some time. In fact, this is why we refer to the Founding Fathers as being so magnificent, because they recognize that what is happening today and the way it affects us is no different than what they were experiencing during those times. And they decided to be different than they had been. They decided to not be one who would just accept something. And they had heard that there were uncharted territories. And rather than sit there and try to fight an established order, they decided to mend themselves someplace else. And they came here with the best of intentions. And they did what we recognize here as having been done. And it has had its effect on us as people in different times, in different kinds of ways. And what we feel and experience during our time is what it is for us. And we all have perhaps different experiences, some that are good and some that are bad. And what it is, ladies and gentlemen, is a reflection of the minds of men. We, for over 200 years, have structured a system of government, and when I say we, I'm talking about as Americans, a system that we have held dear to. We fought and killed and everything else in between to maintain this existence. But now I come to you, ladies and gentlemen, as did the Founding Fathers. I want to take nothing away from the Founding Fathers, because I'm sure what they did at the time that they did it was the best thing that could be done. The time has passed and situations have passed and minds have changed, and the God that has always been there has taken nothing away. But for one reason or another, there are still messages that are being sent through the endlessness of nothingness. And in it, good and bad, in it, truth and only truth. So I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, we've given man a chance. I say let's give God a chance. I've seen the best of man, I'm sure, and I've definitely seen the worst. But I tell you today that what I've seen about man tells me that God wins overwhelmingly. Because I have not just thought about God, I've lived God. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I say that why don't we give God a chance? We don't have to worry about the system as it is established and set up. That's all so well and so good for the system. But we're not talking about promoting the system. We're not even trying to talk about fix something that can't be fixed. We're talking about making it real from the beginning, and let's start it all over, doing it God's way. I tell you that in God's way, there is no poverty. In God's way, there's no crime. In God's way, there's no violence. In God's way, everybody has a dream on the mending stand, evolutionizing itself, becoming real everlastingly. Now, I say that's God. And I ask you to let us together change our system and establish God's system. And I'm expecting everybody who knows the God that I know to support it. Now, does that mean that it's going to happen? If I spoke the truth, or if I speak the truth to you, it is my experience that people who say they know God, it's like saying they know that monster, that Loch Ness monster. They don't know if it's real or not, but they heard about it. Some do, some don't. When they say they children of God, that's true, but they don't mean it. I mean, in the sense that they know it. When they start talking about they love God, it's like loving that Loch Ness monster. That's all it is. So, to answer that, no. I don't expect enough people to And I'm not being negative, I'm being real. I don't expect enough people to stand up and say God's way has got to be the best way, and they are willing to put their hands to the plow and make sure that if it's not successful, it will not be because they didn't put their hands to the plow. So, I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. Bye-bye.